What's going on, guys? So it's Canadian Thanksgiving, so I got a couple days off. It's Sunday afternoon. I haven't done a whole lot today, but Nova time. So I haven't done anything to it since I made that video a couple days ago, but I'm gonna start taking it apart. So while it's up on stands, drive shaft out, start unbolting the transmission and all that sort of stuff. Everything I have to do underneath it. I'm not too sure what I'm gonna do. If maybe I should yoink the trans out by itself while it's up on stands, and then deal with the motor after, if I should just start getting ready to go and do it all together. But either way, I'll get kind of at it. I'll bring you back maybe once I'm under the car. I got a few things apart, just kind of show you what I'm doing. Pretty simple. I'm sure you guys have all seen a small block Chevy and whatnot go in and out, but should be a quick, easy video. Okay, I'm doing a bunch of messing around. Hands dirty. It's going to be a pain to break the transmission apart from the motor. Just some of the bell housing bolts look like they're going to be a bit of a nightmare. So I'm going to take it as one unit. So I'm kind of working under the car to get everything that I want dealt with, because I'll probably have to take it off stands to get the motor and all that out. But light here, so drive shaft is out. Actually, the bolts on the strap holding it in were actually loose, so that was exciting. But it's out. You tape up the U-joints so you don't lose, so the cups are on. Up here, I've managed to take the shifter linkage down, speedometer cable, put a little glove on the tail shaft just so it doesn't leak. I pulled the exhaust, the front half of the exhaust off. You can see it right there, so it goes around to the headers. And this thing has these kind of, I don't know, mid-length headers or whatever, which I had. So I'll take those off as well. I took the torque converter bolts out. Well, it's easy to get to instead of screwing around while it's on the engine crane. So that's all out. The mount, those bolts are out, and the actual crossmember itself is sitting on top of the subframe, but it's just sitting there. It's not bolted anymore. So that's basically that. I'll do a little screwing around with the transmission cooler lines. I'll probably just undo them here. I put these little unions in. It has a cooler that I can take everything out. Go through the wiring of the motor and stuff like that. But I think under here, I'm basically done. Until I start lifting it and it gets caught on something. But otherwise, when the motor and trans comes out, it shouldn't be too big of a deal. So that's it down here. I'm probably going to pull the headers. I think they come out from the top on this thing. And then I might pull a distributor, radiator, a few things just to have out of the way, just so I don't knock anything. But yeah, making lots of progress. Okay, lots of progress. Headers out, radiators out, everything's drained there, transmission lines are disconnected, pulled the distributor, all the plug wires out. You just gotta be carefully going through everything, like, ground wires and stuff like that, and then, temperature sender. I gotta pull the oil sender yet. I'll probably pull the front dress off this thing. I mean, ultimately it'll also come off anyways. At least I can do it all here. Well, it's easy to get to, and then I'll have just a few more inches for the whole unit to come out. Motor and trans together can be a bit of a pain. Shouldn't be too bad. My old man's gonna come over. We're gonna yank the hood off this thing. So hopefully I'll get the hood off. I'll get everything out, and I think that'll be it for today. And then tomorrow morning I'll be at it bright and early. I should be able to just cherry pick this thing out. It looks like I got some stuff to pull on. It's been a while since I've done that. A few more coolant lines. Double check the wiring. Like I said, just give it a once over and should come out pretty easily. I'll break it apart. Like I said, the transmission, and at this point it's only bolted to the motor through the bell housing. So I'll pull in my engine stand tonight out of the snowbank, let it warm up in a nice heated garage, and yeah, should be good. I mean, not a huge rush. I haven't ordered the camshaft or anything like that yet, but get it all apart, and then once I get everything out, I'm taking off more than I really have to. You could definitely do it a little easier, but I'll take it all out. I'll clean it all up. Just while it's in here, you might as well clean it all, give it a once over, paint anything I'm not happy with or chipped off with being installed and stuff, and then yeah, push the car in the corner and start working on the motor. Alright, hood's off. It's in the corner. My old man just left. You guys see me do that 1,000 times. Front dress and all that's off. Got a little bit more work to do, but basically that's it. So it's supper time now. Like I said, it's Thanksgiving here, Canadian Thanksgiving, so I'll probably just tidy up a few more things, and I'm going for supper. I'll be back after or not, because it's turkey, and let's be honest, I'll probably eat till I'm sick. So that's it for now. Like the channel, subscribe, tell your friends, do all those things. And I'm thinking you guys will see me tomorrow morning, and this thing will be motorless. What's going on, guys? So it's Monday morning, holiday long weekend, Canadian Thanksgiving. So lots of work yesterday, and then I've been out a little bit this morning. The motor's basically ready to pull. You can see it's kind of torqued back. I've got, I think, everything disconnected, you know, kind of double check all the wires, throttle linkage, all that sort of stuff. I still have everything hooked up to the transmission, kickdown cable and all that. Pulled all the trans cooler lines out. Fuel line is off. I think all the wiring's dealt with. And I kicked out, so that's the trans cross member. And you can kind of see under there, I don't know if it'll show up or not, but I got just resting on a floor jack. So the motor and trans is hanging backwards, which is good because that's kind of how it's going to have to come out. So my next plan now, I'm going to clean everything up because I got a bunch of junk on the ground. Get everything out of the way, drop the car back. I might have to even pop the door and kind of half push it out. And move the engine crane around the front, yoink it up, and then a combination of moving the engine crane away from the car, or else just pushing the car away. But hopefully, it shouldn't be too much work. I know when I put the motor in, I'm pretty sure I didn't have the cradle or nothing like that on, but out at an angle, pretty steep, life should be good. So I'll get this all cleaned up and get all set up, bring you guys back. Okay. Floor jacks on the trans, just kind of leveled it out. I got the motor mounts all out. The thing is just kind of suspended there. So I'm going to jack this sucker up, drop the transmission down, cock this thing sideways, and hopefully make sure nothing's still hooked up. Okay, so it's out. Danny helped me film there. She's kind of sick, so she's not hanging around, but it's apart. The little glove I put on the tail shaft busted, so I'm gonna let some fluid drain out because this is gonna sit around anyways. So less fluid's in there means less will leak on the garage floor. So I'll do that. Pulled in my trusty engine stand. I gotta double check, make sure I have the right length bolts here in my bolt bin. If not, I'll have to run out and get some. But let this drain for a bit, then I'll just, all I gotta do is undo the bell housing bolts. Transmission will come apart because I already have the torque converter undone. And then I think just kick down and the vacuum. Otherwise, that'll come apart. Slap this on the stand, and I can start breaking this sucker down. And as you can see, it's snowy and crappy out, so it's a little chilly working out here. I'm hoping I can get that all dealt with. Get the car kind of over to the side, work in this little area, and then, yeah, go from there. Okay, got the transmission off the motor. It's just sitting on the other side of the car. Of course, went through the bolt bin. I have one bolt, which is, yeah, it's kind of borderline long enough anyways. So, gotta head out to Canadian Tire Home Depot. Hopefully something will be open today, because they said it's holiday Monday. I can bolt this sucker on the stand. So that's my plan. Just barely enough room to jam the car back in, but once we get everything all kind of sorted out, move the transmission, push the car over the side, clean all this junk out, and then I can work here on the motor. So, be back in a flash with some bolts. Alright, went and got some bolts. They didn't have the right ones, so I had to use some washers to make some spacers there. But anyways, the motor is on the stand. It's all kind of dirty and grimy. But I'm gonna start pulling apart. So valve covers, intake off easy. Should be able to take the pulley and balancer and all that off. I don't know if I'll take the lifters and take the cam and all that out right now or not. I'll set you guys up on the vise there, and a little homemade tripod, and see how much progress I make. Alright, so everything's apart. Everything looks pretty clean still. I mean, I did have this thing all apart. I had the heads off and everything. Lapped the valves, did all that sort of stuff. Then when I put it all together, I put in different valve springs and lifters and cam and all that. I mean, otherwise it's just stock stuff. I pulled all the push rods out. I wasn't happy with them when I put them in. They were kind of a little on the worn side, but I put them in, so I'll probably put a new set in while it's all apart. Next thing, pull the lifters out. And if you want to reuse a camshaft or whatever, you're supposed to kind of keep them all in order. I might do that. I mean, this cam wasn't for me, but it might be for somebody. So I'll take it all out, keep it in order. Then when I pull the cam out, hopefully nothing's all wore out. And it'll be good for someone else. Yeah, so I'll take that all apart. I don't know if I have my puller. Find some stuff there to knock the balancer off. And then I'll probably drain the oil out of it while I'm at it. Alright guys, well I can't find my puller, so I'll have to go look around for that or roll up my old man. And I gotta get some longer fine thread bolts, because I don't think we have any of those either, to pull this balancer off. Otherwise, lifters all came out, they looked alright actually. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I gotta pull the balancer off to get the timing cover off. I'll drop the oil pan and dump the oil out of it. Then I can be able to pull the cam out. And then I gotta buy a gasket kit for it and order a camshaft probably tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be here this week. And start putting all that stuff together. In the meantime, I mean, obviously, like usual, it's trashed in here, so I gotta get on that. Order parts for that. Then while I got here, I'm gonna clean this all up. Still got the hose hooked up, so I'll push it out back maybe. Hose it all down. And now that I have the wiring's all run, I can loom it all properly, make it look nice. You know, do whatever I gotta do, because before, I was kind of sneaking stuff around after I had the motor all in, so make it look really nice. So that's my plan for that. But yeah, I think that's it for this video. Subscribe to the channel, tell your friends, do all those good things, leave a comment. I really appreciate all of it. And yeah, more small blocks Chevy stuff when we get back to it.